when the Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey faces the new SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair and the man Becky Lynch, all titles will be on the line.
It's Talkamania.
This Sunday, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to take your title. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
Well, a stop to the champion.
It's Rusev Day.
You know that I am ready, and you're scared as hell. And you should be, because you know what comes next. Is it WrestleMania? I beat you, and I become the WWE Champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episodic adventure. It's Talkamania. I'm your co-host Desmino, here with my Heart Foundation brethren, J-Bum. Say howdy, J-Bum.
Howdy, man. How's it going, dude?
Oh, dude, it's going awesome. We are on the road to WrestleMania. This is it, guys. I know I've been saying that week after week. You must be tired of me saying that, but we're there. This is it. Like, I had my last day of work today.
Me too.
Tomorrow I'm working from home. I'm wrapping up, and we're hitting the road to New York City.
Yeah, today I was like, screw it. I'm not coming to work tomorrow. Took the day off. Week's been going by so slowly. It's like my brain knows WrestleMania is coming, so I just took the day off.
Man. Not for me. It's been a little bit more hectic. I've been trying to wrap up at work, hand over all my projects. It seems like all the worst things that could be happening are happening this week, but it makes the week go by fast. It makes the week exciting. And hey, man, we had Raw, we had SmackDown, the go-home shows, and it's happening, guys. We have NXT on Friday, we have WrestleMania on Sunday, and we're going to be even at Raw on Monday. So it's going to be exciting. Talkamania is going to be there, and you can follow us on Instagram now, guys.
Yeah, buddy.
We're up in that shit. We're going to be putting our story all over Instagram. You're going to be able to follow us through all the fun times, maybe even through all the drunken times. We'll see. We'll see how rowdy we get. But it's going to be fun, and we hope you guys are in there enjoying the ride that you've been here with us so far. Listen every week, I hope. And now it's time. Let's get this shit done.
All right, well, where else can our listeners get us, Des?
All right, guys, make sure to follow us at _Talkamania on Twitter. Like I said, at Talkamania on Instagram. Are we at Talkamania or are we at _Talkamania on
Nope,
Instagram?
straight up Talkamania.
Sweet, man. We got that one. At Talkamania on Instagram. And at the same time, folks, make sure to check us out on iTunes, on Spotify, on Google Play, wherever you get your podtastic kicks. And make sure to check out some of our partners. The Chair Shot, Full Press Coverage, The Daily Smark, Blog Talk Radio, and BodySlam.net.
And of course, follow our partners over at Full Press Wrestling on the Twitter machine. That's at FPC_wrestling. Buy some merch. There's a crazy Mania sale going on. Not as good as our personal sale was. So if you missed out on that one, you're going to pay an extra 5%, but it's still 20% off the entire store and the entire website. And if you're
Do some Scott Steiner math for them. Come on, man.
Yeah. If you're picking up New Japan stuff, it's another 30% off. But check it out, ProWrestlingTees.com/Talkamania. And get on the Twitch wagon. We're playing Apex Legends. That's twitch.tv/Talkamaniacs.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you guys didn't check out our interview from last week? Well, we hit our 100th episode, which is a milestone for us. Pretty exciting. And with that, we had a little bonus episode, which was an interview with Brian Pillman Jr. Really cool guy and a really cool interview. So make sure to check it out if you have not done so already. And talking about Apex, talking about video games, Smash Brothers, well, we may have laid down a challenge with Brian. So keep your eye out in the future. We might have some gameplay. We're going to try to stream it possibly. It's going to be fun. We might even sync up with him at WrestleMania weekend if the stars align. He's going to be doing Friday morning. We're there Saturday morning. But who knows what can happen. It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. And if you guys are in the city, let us know. Hit us up. Come take a picture. Come have a beer. We'd love to be spending some time with our Talkamaniacs.
Yeah, well, we got to jump into this. We got a big episode. We're going to be recapping Raw and SmackDown Live quickly. We're going to run through it. And there's also some other news from around the universe. And, of course, it's our prediction episode. So we're going to run through the entire NXT TakeOver card and the entire Wrestlemania card. And this week, we're going head-to-head in a triple threat match with the boys over at the IrishWhipPodcast and the boys over at Boot2TheFace. So far, we've faced them both individually. We're undefeated. So,
So all the titles are on the line.
Well put. Yeah, no, all the titles are on the line. All right, let's jump into this. Let's get her done. All right, Des. Stephanie McMahon kicked off Raw this week, making it official. It's winner take all at the WrestleMania main event for the women. Would you consider this a confirmation of the unification of the women's titles?
No, I don't think so. I honestly don't think it's a unification. They haven't mentioned it being a unification. I think even Becky said double champion on SmackDown this week.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of really highlighting the women 100%. Like, they are fully 110% engaged in this feud and in this triple threat match that they pushed forward. It's main eventing WrestleMania. It's historic. The women have been working hard. If you go back to the Attitude Era and you would say women would be main eventing WrestleMania, while having bra and panties matches, it would be a joke.
Those were
the
good
women have
matches,
worked hard for what they were meant to be. maybe. But the women have come a long way. They've earned a lot of respect, and they've worked their asses off. So great for them. I'm happy and excited to be there in person to witness history. But no, I don't think this is going to be a unification. Maybe it will. The WWE has, they changed what they want on a whim. We saw Asuka get, done dirty and lose a title right heading into WrestleMania. They've been making all these last minute changes. But I don't think it's at this point in time it's going to be unification. I think it's more or less people were thinking, well, why? Why would they put, the title on Charlotte? Because if you look at it, there's going to be no way that Becky could walk out with both titles. Because, if she pins, if Ronda pins Charlotte, she has both titles. If Charlotte pins Ronda, she has both titles. But if Becky pins one or the other, she has one, right? So people were trying to work out that math. And I even saw somebody post like 4 or 5 different scenarios of what the outcome can be, and none of them was with Becky obviously having the titles. Simple math, but now she can. So I think that's kind of their loophole in their way to kind of be like, well, look, all the titles are on the line. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens after WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, how do they defend
now they
that?
have 2 titles. So do they defend one? Do they defend both? Is one title going to be on the line? That's if they lose it. I hope it's not like shortly after resolved, like, oh, you won the titles last night. You're defending one on Raw tonight, and you lose it, and then that's it. Like,
and then one on SmackDown.
A little bit of a
course.
But you know what? I'm all for unification.
Me too.
I like the idea of having champions that can go on either show. We saw that with the tag team champions, right? They can go on SmackDown, they can go on Raw, they can go on NXT. I think that should be across the board. Universal title, WWE title, even those. I mean, like, if you're going to use a Universal title to be your look at this attraction, Brock Lesnar, and bringing in money and go to Saudi Arabia, and they'll pay lots of money, and that'll be the title we put on that champion, then okay, cool. But, I don't know. I would like champions that can go on either brand on any night, mix it up, different challengers, and it keeps it fresh.
The brand split. I mean, the lead up to WrestleMania, they've pretty much thrown the brand split under the carpet. I mean, so many people have been appearing on both shows, and it's been fun. The storylines carry over to both episodes. It's just been enjoyable. So, I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do with the titles, but I don't know. My gut says it's going to be unification, though.
Cool. Yeah, very well could be. I didn't think it was going to be every title on the line at first anyways. I thought it was going to be like, well, we'll give Charlotte a championship, so it's her second place prize at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Look, like, I mean, I'm okay with it being a triple threat now at this point, but by no means does Charlotte probably shouldn't be in this match. And
I'm over that. I'm over that too. But to me, it's just like Charlotte is their girl, is their number one, is their champion. Even if Becky is the woman this year, Charlotte is their number one. She will go in the Hall of Fame, and she will probably be the most winningest, accomplished women's wrestler of all time. I can safely say that at this point in time. She kind of already is. But yes, they're putting all their eggs in their basket, and I think for this epic moment, it's historic. They wanted and needed to have Charlotte Flair in there. It was going to happen. So that's where we are, and I'm really excited for the match because, well, fuck, man, that segment this week, It was very good. We'll get to that, though. We'll get to that. Beth Phoenix, she made her in-ring return this Monday on Raw. To me, she didn't look really that rusty, but I didn't see her in her prime. So I wanted to get your take on it.
Oh, she was awesome. She came out, definitely. Look, she's a mommy, a glamazon mommy. She busts her ass off, goes to the gym, and she's in great shape. And the match itself, pretty good. I like the way that she kind of had herself in there. And like you said, not much ring rust. Kind of picked up where she left off. You know, the way that she was interacting with the other talent in the ring. You know, kind of trading barbs with Sasha and Bayley. You know, kind of playing the heat there. But man, the thing that impressed me the most, I like the Glam Slam. I've always been a fan of that move. I think she does it better than Dean Ambrose. I'll give Dean Ambrose respect for, you know, paying homage or kind of borrowing that from her. But what got me in that match was when she speared, or I guess rammed Tamina through the barricade.
Yeah.
Really impressive. Well, here's the thing. Go back and look at it. First of all, Tamina she botches a lot. She's not very competent in what she's doing. So they're very kind of limited on the angles they put her into and the I guess, the spots. So in this one, you could see that the barricade wasn't easily going to go over. And when they initially make contact with the barricade, it's not going to go over. And you just see Beth just like power through it and give an extra kind of push through Tamina, through the barricade. And to me, I was like, damn, Edge better not piss that woman off.
Batista was on Raw this week. He cut a simple promo, pretty much just said, kiss my ass, Triple H. And it was extremely effective. Somehow, I know it was his hometown, but somehow I feel like he walked out the face in the feud leading into Mania now.
For me, he's the face. I mean, like, I thought he should have been from the beginning. I've talked about this. I think the Evolution reunion, people were cheering for him. They were happy to see him back. I'm disappointed with his involvement in this angle. I feel it's kind of been phoned in a little bit. He should be there every single week. If you're going to do WrestleMania, dude, I understand you're a part-timer, but, like, you know, you're not Brock Lesnar. Show up every single week. And Brock Lesnar should as well at the same time while I'm at it. But, I don't know. I was excited for him to finally come in. They do the package. Always good packages, especially leading into WrestleMania. But, I don't know. I was surprised. Him saying, kiss my ass, Triple H. Sorry, I burped, guys. For me, it was a bit lazy. And I was a little bit kind of wanting more. I wanted to hear Batista cut a good promo, but maybe at the same time, a lot of his promos have been a bit confusing and incoherent the past few weeks. So maybe they want to keep it short and sweet. I was a bit let down, but apparently when I looked on social media, it was very effective.
It was
and
extremely
everybody
effective.
liked it. Everybody liked it. They thought that they liked the kiss my ass, Triple H. I don't know who's going to get cheered, who's going to get booed at WrestleMania. I'm not sure. Triple H seems like he's the face in this, but I feel like they've kind of done the whole thing wrong and the build-up all wrong. I think Triple H should be the bad guy. You know, maybe Batista came in, like I said earlier, you know, trying to make sure he gets out of the way of Becky Lynch and make sure the match happens and starting something there. Triple H was a bad guy. He was the authority. He was screwing over Becky, and then all of a sudden he's flipped to a good guy and Batista's flipped to a bad guy.
They're always flip-flopping, though.
Flip-flopping to flip-flopperoo. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I'm kind of okay with this match, I guess. Just wish the build-up would have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
But, hey.
I like the promo. I'll take it for what it is.
It's just weird that they're flying all the way out there for 4 words. I guess he's in Washington. Does he live in Washington still?
No, I don't know where he lives. Probably lives in Hollywood.
I doubt. He probably lives in California. Yeah.
LA. All right. We had Rey Mysterio, who we found out actually did hurt his ankle during the Baron Corbin match on Raw.
You see the video? You see the video he posted?
No, I didn't see the video.
So Baron Corbin basically, he did that. This is one of those basic moves where, like, you know, you have the guy and you do a back suplex and he flips over your back and lands on his feet. But
yeah,
I guess, you know, Corbin's a tall guy and, you know, Rey Mysterio's not the young little Gentile man that he used to be, like a feather jumping around here and there. So he landed on his ankle. You see it kind of bend a little bit. It looked a little nasty. You know, it's probably just a tweak. I hope he's going to be good for WrestleMania. You know what? But if not, I'm guessing we're going to get like Joe versus Ali or something like that.
Joe versus Ali would be okay. It would probably actually be a better match than Joe versus Rey.
Yeah, I mean, with Joe versus Rey, you kind of know what you're going to get. I think it'll be a fun match, but you know the way it's going to go. With Ali, who knows, man? The underdog, I have a harder time saying who's going to pick up that win. I think Ali would lose, but I think there would be question marks. Maybe he could pull it off. I'm not exactly sure. And then I would love to see Andrade as well, too. I think he should have better booking for WrestleMania.
Yeah, he's still he's still new to the WWE. I'm okay with him not being on the card this year. But there's no official word on Rey if he's in the match or removed. Or
he said he'll hopefully be ready for WrestleMania. So it's kind of up in the air, lots of question marks, but easily you could put somebody else in there, Ali or Andrade.
What does that say about the match? You could easily slide somebody in there. It's not been much of a
because
feud.
they've been feuding a little bit back and forth for the past month. Even R-Truth, and they're like, I still think it should have been a fatal 4-way for the U.S. title. Like, I think it would have made a little bit more sense.
No
Those are the
more
guys.
4-way matches at Mania. Holy shit! There's too many. There's too many. All the tag teams are 4-ways.
Well, one tag team. Oh yeah, the women's too. Yeah, we don't know about the Raw yet either.
No, so far it seems like the Raw the Raw Tag Team Championship is not going to be on the card so far.
Well, the rumor that I was hearing, well, actually, it wasn't a rumor. I saw it on WWE's social media platform where the Edgeheads, help me out here, Zack Ryder and the
Kurt Hawkins.
Kurt Hawkins. I keep thinking Kurt Hawkins, Curtis Axel. Kurt Hawkins. They may challenge for the championships, and the Revival said they think about it. So I think they're leaving that space open in case they wanted to do it on the pre-card. But again, the card is stacked, guys. There's so many matches we got to get through. So, and dude, man, it's gonna be a long time in that arena. It's gonna be exciting, but man, jeez.
There's a lot of topics on this podcast we got to get through, so let's keep it going. We mentioned earlier Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda, absolute mayhem on Raw. It was insane. I said it was. I know I got very excited. I said it was the greatest segment on Raw of all time. I meant and I stick with this. It was absolutely the greatest women's division segment I have ever seen on Raw. It started off so weird with the cops coming down, and I was like, where are they going with this? It's such a mess. And then when they got backstage, it was a fucking masterpiece. When Ronda got in the car and smashed the other cop car, I was tweeting at that moment. And like I just dropped my phone and got off my couch and was jumping around. Like this was so good. The knee to the face, it was just like Holly Holmes all over again. I loved it.
Do you think they filmed that live, or you think they pre-taped?
Yeah, it was live. It was live, for sure.
I don't know. I just felt like it was all perfectly done so well. Like, just the angles, the cuts, the car.
Well, WWE knew what they were doing. I mean, the set was set up, but no, you could tell like their hair was all messed up in the same way. It didn't look like. It didn't look
smart, though. They would mess their hair up anyway. But yeah, I do agree. I do think that it was taped live. You did say that it wasn't the best in the beginning part when they're in the ring, a little bit, the cops and stuff. So if it was a perfect, I guess, segment for me, that part wouldn't have been like, No,
it wasn't like, It was like, they're all going to get arrested. That's it. And then it was like, this is PG. This is kind of lame.
But for what, though? Like, because they attacked each other when they were told not to?
Because the cops came out and they started
They're wrestlers. They're allowed to attack each other.
They hit cops. It's because they all got arrested one by one after they attacked the police.
Okay.
So it made sense, but I was just kind of thinking, like I was enjoying that part, but I was like, I was just waiting for the segment to end and it to go to commercial break, or for it to like cut to Michael Cole, Renee, and Corey, and them talk and move to the next segment. But it didn't. It just kept going and getting better and better. And the delivery of timing by Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch when they got in that cop car
and looked at each other.
It was just like, and it's like beautifully been made into so many memes online.
The Benny Hill, and like even the song when they look at each other, it's like a pause in the song. It's
so
great.
good.
And I'll give it that for sure. Definitely, yeah, probably is the best women's segment of all time for sure.
Like we'll be looking back at this on top 10 lists of crazy Raw moments, and this is going to be on that list for the rest of our lifetime, guaranteed. It'll be there.
I would have loved to see something like continue over to SmackDown. Like it's cool. Becky came out, she cut a promo. We saw a few people coming out on SmackDown and kind of hyping their matches.
Yeah.
And that's exciting and all. It's weird that the cop kind of drove up and dropped her off. I guess that she made friends.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Yeah, cop with a siren. We had the sirens on and just came up to the arena and dropped her off.
So they drove from Washington.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think they were in Baltimore. Man. I don't know how far that is. It's not that far, but still, it's a little silly.
They even said like they were released that night on, the night where it happened. But anyways, it would have been cool if it carried over. Like there's a video of them being released, and then when they're released, they immediately start brawling again in like the lobby of the police station and get thrown in again, and then they're like in jail until WrestleMania night or something. Like, I don't know.
Oh, they're released for the match.
Yeah, that could have been cool.
They're like brought over in a paddy wagon. I just really hope that they start the match the way that Raw, like that segment went. If they come in and it becomes a wrestling match, like it needs to be like
brawling.
5 minutes of brawling. It really, really does.
Sure,
So,
I think it will. I hope it will. I mean, like, come on. I think the fans really enjoy that. I think you said to me as well, too, it's going to be something they look back to and replay time and time again. Definitely a historic moment. Lots of good timing. That knee to run his head was amazing. The way she sold it as well, too. People were like, oh, that was really stiff. And I think it was a bit stiff, but these women have been working stiff with each other on purpose. Ronda may be shitting on the business, but she knows what she's doing. I think people give her a lot harder time than she deserves.
I think she's made her way back into our hearts.
I think she works hard, and I think what she's doing now is definitely better than what she was doing before, being all nice and smiley. Now she's not giving a F, like, quote-unquote, because she does, but she's just playing that angle. And I think it's cool, like, she's calling it fake, but, like, it's not. She wouldn't have sold the knee. She wouldn't be selling half the stuff she'd be selling. So
She smacked her head on that car door. That was so good.
a little bit, yeah, on the frame of it. But I mean, she's taken a lot more bumps than that before in her time. So I'm not too concerned. But everything was good. I like the fact that she got behind the wheel and started driving it. I was like, what? Yeah. And then I had to laugh my ass off because they're like, hey, and they take her out the front seat. And they just put her back in the back seat. I thought it was. I know that's obviously the legit thing to do, but like it was just funny. It was like, hey, get in the back seat.
It was a beautiful disaster. That's what it was. It was just chaos, and it came out. It went over really well. I think I didn't see any negative comments. Online.
Oh, it should have been the main event. I would think that. I mean, like I get that you're kind of trying to pay respect to Kurt Angle and stuff, but Rey Mysterio, Corbin, man, like the main event before WrestleMania to go home.
Somebody loves Baron Corbin. Backstage.
Somebody loves Baron Corbin, and I'm not like Baron Corbin is actually he got a pretty good promo, and he's not terrible on the mic, and he plays a good heel.
I just don't like his matches aren't great.
Yeah, his matches aren't that great. He's not super exciting, and he's not who I want to see in the go home show before WrestleMania.
No,
I was already disappointed enough that they canceled Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio, but again, we all know why, right? We all know why.
Old Yeller, man, old Yeller.
Oh. Man, that match with Samoa Joe, I think they were like, dude, you can't do this. We can't do this. I was hoping we were gonna get a Daniel Bryan Kurt Angle match, but again, it's not the same Kurt Angle. He acknowledges that, and dude, I'm not knocking the guy because he's one of my favorites of all time. And when he was in his prime and top shape, like I'd have Kurt Angle over anybody any day.
Yeah,
guy was a machine. And if you guys are a bit younger and you don't remember Kurt Angle, go check it out. He had some great matches, even in TNA.
Yeah,
but some great matches in the WWE. His feud with The Rock, Kurt Angle, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, Shane McMahon. I think it was King of the Ring. They put on an epic match, guys. One of the best matches of King of the Ring history, and probably Shane McMahon's best match. So check that out if you can. I might reminisce down Kurt Angle Lane and check out some old stuff.
Hey, dude, we got a lot of time in that car on that way to New York City, baby. Let's jump over to SmackDown, dude. We had another installation of the KO show. Not much to do with Kevin Owens, but holy shit. A great promo again between AJ Styles and Randy Orton. I gotta hand it to the WWE. This looked like something they threw together, 3-4 weeks out of WrestleMania, and it's just becoming like a legitimate old school grudge match. Obviously they're not blurring the lines, but it's just been good. It's been personal and so quickly.
So I want to ask you, let's rewind a little bit. KO show. I don't want to lose sight of KO because he's our boy from Montreal or from, Maryville, Quebec, Canada. Don't you feel like he had some little resentment or bitterness when he just looked like he was like, I don't know, he wasn't happy to be there. He obviously goes out and does He goes out and does his job, and no matter what job they give him, he goes out and he kills it. And he did a great job. The fact that he's reading cue cards between Randy and Orton.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
There was phenomenal. AJ Styles, or whatever he did. I thought that was great. He always does a good job. The way he left when he left was great, too. He played a very little role, obviously, in this segment. But I don't know. I felt like when he went out there, he looks like he's sad. I'm sure he's a little bit bummed that he's not going to have a match. And I guess they're going to put him in this Battle Royale. I have to imagine. Because there's nowhere else to put him at this time. So I feel bad for KO, and it's funny because he was supposed to come back after WrestleMania, and they fast-forwarded it a little bit to play with that whole Kofi storyline, and It's a bit unfortunate because now he's being left out. There's no KO 3 this year, KO Mania 3. I was thinking, man, you know what he should have done? He could have stayed. Maybe they brawled, and then they whatever it ends, the segment ends, and then it goes to commercial, and then they come back, and KO's sitting back at his table, and he's like, you know what? I was sitting here, and I've been trying to keep nice, but I'm sick of this. I'm waiting to WrestleMania, and I don't have a match, and this is ridiculous, and everybody does blah blah blah. He goes into a rant, and he gets really pissed off. And then Sami Zayn comes out. He returns. And then they just have, even if it's a face-on-face, whatever match it is, those two guys can tear it up. We've seen it on the indie scene. We've seen it in NXT. I think they could have put on an amazing match. I think it could have been a really cool way to insert these two into WrestleMania. However, the only thing is there's just too many matches right now.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I mean, I get it. KO's our boy. I would love to see him in a match at Mania. I figure he came back early. He got a nice rub immediately into the title picture.
And then nothing after, though.
Yeah, that's fine, though. That's what, we talk on the show, oh, they're just doing this to put this person in the match, or they're just doing that to put that person in the match. Well, we have to choose a side of the line and stick with it, dude. I don't believe that everybody should be on every card. I think a WrestleMania spot should be earned. I don't think KO is undeserving of it, but he's been injured for a long time. The better part of, when did he go out? It was 6 months he was out?
Yeah, but how many superstars go out with injury, come back, and get thrown into winning the Royal Rumble or going into a big match at WrestleMania? It happens all the time.
I don't remember the last time it happened, though. We're at 35, dude. If those days were before 30, that's been 5 years removed that something like that has happened.
Look, fair enough. I just feel like KO, he works as... KO, it's not like he's our homeboy. People know KO is, he's great. I hope.
It would have been nice. I think you mentioned on one of the podcasts if there was some sort of the U.S. title. Maybe if Rey's hurt, they could make a 5 or 6 person ladder match and get him in that. That would be great,
dude. Or just throw him into that match. Rey Mysterio's out. KO needs a match. Put him in there, man.
I don't want KO winning that title though. I hate it on him.
Yeah, you know what though? In hindsight, though, I feel like the reason... I bet you they pulled him aside and said, look, KO, we don't have something lined up for you. This year is not your year. You are a big player for us. We remember the match you had with Jericho. We're a bit... No, I'm just joking.
No, they hated that match.
Yeah, I know. Jericho talked about that recently, too.
Yeah, that was good.
But I bet you they've told him, dude, we're moving you to Raw after WrestleMania. And I bet you they're going to move KO to Raw, and they've told him that. They're like, we got big plans for you on Raw. He's going to want to go to Raw. That's where he was happy to be. And it's going to be in Montreal, obviously. So they'd be very stupid, A, not to have Kevin Owens go to Raw on that night. But at the same time, it all makes sense why Sami Zayn isn't coming back from WrestleMania. They're going to save that for Montreal. They're going to save it for Montreal.
Yeah, so it's going to be great.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be off the hook. And, man, we're going to have a good time.
Yeah. I got to ask you, bro. Is there salt in this situation? The WWE threw Asuka a bone this week, gave her the spotlight in the mixed 300-person tag match, whatever the fuck that was, on SDLive this week. So, salty, or did you like it?
I liked the fact that they were mixing up the men and the women in this whole thing, the segment. It kind of makes me think like maybe one day we're going to get that intergender match. We saw Nikki Cross jump on Benjamin. That was fun. I thought the way that he jumped out and she was on top of him. They played it safe, still with it. But Asuka threw out Jeff Hardy too, which I thought was cool. Yeah, I thought those two looked good together. I thought they could maybe pull off a colorful tag team. But ultimately, no, I'm not happy. And yes, I'm salty. I don't say that's throwing a bone. That's them doing a jackass way of giving her a rub before WrestleMania. Look, we had a conversation. We're not going to have her against Mandy Rose or Sonya Deville or in a fatal four-way because no one's going to be invested in this match. So it's like, okay, well, we have the match on the pre-show and have her win. Do we not have her at all? Do we strip the title off of her? Well, it's better to maybe not have her on the show at all. But like, look, we were concerned about having her in this match that wasn't going to be meaningful. And now she's in this match that's not going to be meaningful. And it's going to be on the pre-card. Yeah. We already know that. Both Battle Royals are. And do I think she's going to win?
Oh, no. I don't think the men's Battle Royal is on the pre-card.
It is already announced.
No way. They're going to put
100%.
Michael Che on the pre-card?
They're on the pre-card. Don't know what to tell you. So, 205 Live match, the two Battle Royals, they are your pre-card matches as of now.
Fuck off. I didn't know that. Shit.
So I thought it was really cool for the fact that, look, I think the fact that they were like, look, Asuka, we love you, and we had to do what we had to do, and go out there and look good tonight. Cool. Awesome. I don't think she's going to win this Sunday. Even the fact that she was the last woman standing even further proves to me she won't be the last woman standing. I know who will be the last woman standing. And if you don't know by now, you're a complete idiot. We'll get to that a bit later.
Yeah.
I think J-Bomb should know as well, too.
I think I know. Yeah.
But you're going to have to listen to a little bit more longer, so keep listening to us at Talkamania.
Yeah.
But
Uh-oh.
one thing that was interesting was I love the crowd reaction.
Yeah, they love Asuka. Come on.
They love Asuka. And the fans are not stupid. They know the WWE did
And that was a good
dirty.
crowd. That was a great crowd at SmackDown last night.
It was a good crowd, and they gave her a lot of respect. And guys, check it out. She went on social media after. It's in Japanese, but you can get the translations. A few people put it out there. My wife translated it for me as well, too. And she basically says, like, you know, since I lost the SmackDown Women's title, the support I've gotten from fans, from friends, from superstars has been overwhelming. It was really hard for me, but it's overwhelming to know the support and love that I have around me. And I will fight, and I will go forward, and it gives me the strength to win the Battle Royal at WrestleMania. But you see the intensity in her eyes, and for Japanese women or Japanese people in general who have a hard time expressing feelings, she was tearing up. You could see in her eyes. She was choking up, and I even asked my wife, I said, you know, do you find that she was being emotional? She's like, yeah, you could definitely tell she's emotional. She was tearing up and choking up, trying to find words and stuff. So she knows. I really hope the WWE can find a way to rebound after WrestleMania. She has to understand this was all about, you know, the three women in the main event. They don't have a tendency of being able to carry more than one storyline with the women. I hope they end up fixing that in the new year. I hope 2019, the rest of the year, is good for Asuka. But I do not... Shut up. I see your...
Tell me how you really feel, Des. Come on.
I told you, I'm not happy about the situation. I don't think her winning the Battle Royale was any kind of rub. But I like that it resulted in the fans making her feel appreciated. And man, I'm telling you, I'm going to be meeting her in just a couple days at Fan Access. And I'm going to tell her just how much I appreciate her. And you know what, man? The WWE is not ready for Asuka.
I don't think. Yeah. Okay. Well, you better be ready for her. Okay, so we got a new announcement for the WWE Hall of Fame. The final inductee, Brutus the Beefcake. Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Yeah.
I was just saying this on the day with this fool where he's got to cut his hair. He's got some mop on top of his head.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. You know, it's funny though. When I was a really young kid, Brutus was my favorite wrestler. Just because he was like a barber, he would cut off people's hair. I don't know what it was, but I always loved when he would cut their hair at the end of the match. I thought it was so funny. And Bret Hart was my favorite as well. And DX was a huge part. I feel like we're going to WrestleMania, or screw you, I'll be at WrestleMania, and I feel like all my favorites are going into the WWE Hall of Fame. Except for the Honky Tonk Man. I don't really give a shit about him, but...
I don't think anybody really does.
He's like the loser on the card, and there's no celebrity this year, right?
Good, because they always like Drew Carey, and it's like, what the fuck did he do? You know,
he was in the WWE for...
He was in a Royal Rumble and then jumped out when Kane came out. He was scared, and that's it. But the Barber, Brutus Barber Beefcake, definitely one of the first I remember growing up watching wrestling. Yep, we're old as balls, guys.
Yep.
But I always thought, man, he's a terrible he had hedge clippers.
Dude, he was obviously not a barber.
Well, come on, didn't he have like that whole neck, that little like thing around his neck that barbers would sometimes wear?
Well, his shtick was to be a barber. I don't think he was a barber by trade.
And weren't they? Come on, this guy owned real estate. Didn't they do the whole Marty Jannetty angle and Shawn Michaels in his barbershop? I saw that. You can't tell me this guy didn't own a barbershop.
You know, I heard that the barbershop...
He had insurance on that window, I hear.
I read that there is a setup of the barbershop at Access. So if that's the case, this might be the end of our tag team.
Oh man, that'd be great if we could recreate it, dude. I would. Wait, well, I'm not gonna.
I would let you super kick me.
I'm gonna catch you from surprise and just throw your face through that. But yeah, really excited for that. I actually got my email for Fan Access today telling me all about.
So did I. I
forgot
forgot to read it.
Do this, do that, do this. But they showed like how the setup would be, and like there's shops, and there's a wing for Legends, and there's a wing for NXT, and like
sick. It's
really excited, man. I'm getting giddy.
Yeah. Did you purchased a WrestleMania sweater, right? Are you gonna pick it up when you get there? Did you do the express checkout thing?
I did the express checkout.
Okay.
I can only get it on WrestleMania Sunday, I believe. But yeah, I picked up the hoodie. I thought it was really nice. It has NJ from New Jersey, NY on one side, WrestleMania 35. It's very simple, classic, and it has nice little thumb holes for those who like. Actually, it's funny because I have one other sweater that has thumb holes, and I'm wearing it right now. But yeah, it looks comfortable. And you know what? I'm picking it up because ahead of time because it's a medium, and mediums go fast. So
Smart. I heard you're going to save like tons of time in line. So actually, I heard that on the Boot to the Face podcast. I think Marty was telling us about that.
And you'll be thankful because you won't be waiting on my ass. So
yeah, thank God.
But it's really cool. It's really exciting. I hear that there's going to be possibilities to meet lots of people there. And apparently for my meeting with Asuka, they're giving me, I think they're called like companion bracelets or something like that, where you're actually able to come into the line with me. I don't know if it means you're also able to meet them, but
I don't want to stand in line with you.
It actually made it seem though like you'd actually be able to come in that line. Like if somebody gets a VIP access, your friends can come in, but that would be stupid. It can't be that.
I don't know. We'll see. If you can bring somebody, you're bringing your wife. Come on, don't be silly.
No, I have 3 companion bracelets.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
and we're 4 people. That's perfect.
That's it. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
if any of you guys know how it works, if you've done access before,
yeah,
you've gotten companion bracelets. It's very cryptic the way they explained it. It might just be your friends wait in line, and then you go and meet them, and they sit back jealous. But
yeah,
we'll
you're
see.
like you're gonna wait in line with us for 2 hours, and then you're not gonna meet her.
I just hope that my wife can do it because then she can talk to Asuka for me directly, and then I can get her on the podcast.
Oh, we're getting on the podcast for sure.
One day. I'll wear her down.
And Jim Ross has signed a contract with AEW. Apparently, it's extremely lucrative. 3 years. He's going to be doing commentary, and I think he's got some sort of creative power or
senior advisor,
some shit like that. But it's nice to see JR to join a company like that. He's done some New Japan work. I'm just excited that they're getting big names like this. This is exciting.
Yeah,
like,
it shows you that they're
back
really trying to be competitive, and they're going to be, I don't know, I guess a big name player. I guess at least down the road. Jim Ross. I think if anybody's going to get a lucrative contract, it should be this man. I think he's probably the most well-known and I guess successful announcer in wrestling of all time. I mean, there's no question of that. So does he still have it? I've seen some of his other matches now, his calling of his matches. It's not definitely what he once was. He's getting older. But it doesn't matter, man. You put Jim Ross on there, he's going to kick ass.
Yep.
They're going to have him with a good partner as well, too, on the announce team. So really exciting news. I think Justin Roberts as well, too, is the ring announcer. And they have Alicia Tout as well, too, joining the team. I think she'll be doing backstage interviews and hosting various events for the AEW as well, too. I mean, she was close with Kenny Omega and a lot of the crew over there. So not surprising and very happy to see that for everybody. So awesome AEW. Keep doing it, Cody Rhodes. And the future is bright for AEW.
Buddy.
Question mark?
Holy shit. We're already at the 35-minute mark, and we haven't even gotten into our predictions. Dez, it's time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Dez and J-Bob's Predictions.
All right, Dez, so we're talking NXT TakeOver. We'll get to WrestleMania after this. This is happening as soon as we get into New York. We're gonna have about like an hour or two right after we arrive. We got to get to Barclays Center. I'm super hyped for this. Let's run through the card. I'm gonna go in the order that you wrote it. So let's start off with the War Raiders versus Black and Ricochet. Who do you got?
So I got to think here. Black and Ricochet are potentially two of the superstars that have been highlighted the most in the WWE, period, over the past month or two.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, for sure. They're on SmackDown. They're on Raw. You were talking earlier about wrestlers really not sticking to a brand, and that seems to be the case with NXT heavily. So, War Raiders, Black, Ricochet. We've known Black, Ricochet have kind of said their farewells to NXT. I do believe this is probably their last NXT match.
Agreed.
That being said, I can't see them walking out with the NXT tag team titles. unless they're going to do something similar to Sasha and Bayley, where they can bring them up and down. It's just not going to happen.
No.
Now, I think Black and Ricochet are so hot right now that I really don't know how this match would end, where they would keep those titles, unless maybe like, a tag team from the main roster comes out and distracts them. There's miscommunication. There's some disqualification. There's some dirty play.
They don't do bullshit like that on NXT, though. They don't.
Yeah, I know. So I'm not really sure in terms of how that would end. But ultimately, I have to think the War Raiders, they're going to give them the rub, maybe worst case scenario, just to send them out with respect. But War Raiders, they're going to retain the titles. They got them last NXT or the one before that, the Takeover. So it's fresh. The War Raiders are running hot. They'll retain.
I agree. 100%. Like you said, Black and Ricochet are extremely hot. They don't need any more spotlight. Actually, they'd be putting the War Raiders over, having them win, even though the War Raiders are the champions.
Dude, they're also in the tag team match, SmackDown tag team title match.
Yeah, so exactly.
They have two tag team title matches that week. Imagine they get all the gold, dude. I wouldn't even rule that out either. I don't know. They're so high on Black and Ricochet right now.
I wouldn't either. There was a part of me that thought, and this is a little bit crazy, but maybe Ricochet and Black were going to face the Revival and then also be in the 4-man on SmackDown and also win NXT and literally hold all three of them. And
they should have done it. They should have done it.
I know they should have done that.
This would have been the year. This would have been the year. And this would have been the team to do it.
They would have been the team to do it. But anyways,
yeah.
I agree. War Raiders need to win this. Well, they don't need to win this match, but they should win this match.
3 belts each? Imagine. Oh, my God.
Just like hanging off of them.
Filthy.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to do it. I think it's going to be an amazing match. I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be great.
I think it's going to open up. I don't know.
I just can't wait for the NXT. Like, being in that arena, it's smaller, it's intimate. And then
it's not that much smaller. It's Barclay, man. It's like the size of the Bell Center.
All those smacks in the NXT. Oh, my God. Oh.
It's going to be good.
It'll be good.
We got Pete Dunne versus Walter. We've talked about Walter on the podcast before. I've been the guy who's gotten a little bit of flack from all the indie hipsters that fucking love this dude. I don't get it.
If you could make a t-shirt for J-Bomb, it'd be like, who the fuck is Walter?
Yeah, Walter who? Like Cronkite? Who's this fucker? We'll see. He's huge. Pete Dunne's tiny. It should be interesting. I really don't want to see Pete Dunne lose his title. I really want him to see him go forever with this thing. So it's a tough one for me to call. I have to think it's time. I don't know if Pete Dunne's going to work on the main card, so I really don't want him to lose that title. But if I have to pick somebody, I'm going to go with Walter.
I'm with you, man. I think this is the one. I think this is the one that beats the one. He will defeat Pete Dunne. He will win the championship. I think he's going to be the face right now of NXT UK. This guy is a beast. I think Pete Dunne and Walter can put on a great match. Pete's style, he's a bruiserweight. He's going to bend and twist and contort those joints and those fingers. Walter's just going to beat you with his fists and a slap to the chest, and he's just a machine. So it's going to be exciting to see them face off. It's going to be interesting to see what finally takes Pete Dunne out for the pin. But ultimately, I think with the Superstar Shakeup, we're going to see Pete Dunne on the main roster. So I think his time with NXT UK is over. I think he had an amazing run, historic run. I love Pete Dunne, and for that very reason, I want to see him on the main roster, having those great matchups. Him, Daniel Bryan,
he's
tearing
not
it up.
getting Bryan. No way.
Oh, come on. They're going to throw him They're going to throw him into the mid-upper class right away. He's so definitely proved himself.
He's so small.
So is Daniel Bryan.
Oh, he's smaller than Bryan. I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Look, man. Shut your mouth. Walter's going to win this match. He's going to debut on Raw, and that's all there is to it.
All right. Let's move on. The North American Championship, we got the bro, Matt Riddle, versus the Velveteen Dream. You're not high on Matt Riddle. I don't really care for his character, but his in-ring stuff is cool. I'm excited for this match. It's going to be awesome. I don't know who's going to win, though. Who do you got?
Okay, so I actually watched the match that they had going into the winner faces Gargano for the 2 out of 3 falls, or for the championship, because it wasn't determined 2 out of 3 falls yet. And Matt Riddle kind of won me over, so I'm getting there. Matt Riddle can deliver. He can wrestle with whoever I've seen him wrestle with. I've liked what I've seen. Velveteen Dream, Matt Riddle, Adam Cole, Ricochet, Black. These are guys who are some of the best in the world, and really excited for this match. I think Velveteen Dream, Matt Riddle are going to put on an amazing matchup. They showed some shades of what they could do in the prior match, leading into seeing who was going to face Gargano, and I think these guys are going to have. It's going to be. It could be. It's hard to say what the match of the night is going to be because they're all going to be probably matches of the night. But it's going to be a phenomenal match, mind you. Velveteen Dream is going to hang on to the North American Championship. It's a little too soon for him to drop that title. Matt Riddle, a little too green to get that title. And I just think it's going to be an amazing match with your man, the Velveteen Dream, on top.
Yeah, a lot of people are thinking Velveteen's going to drop and then end up on Raw or SmackDown after Mania.
He's very, very, very young. He's a baby.
Yeah,
so I don't know. I don't know if he's ready for that yet. I think they need to make him a little bit humble. I think he is. But
I don't think WWE is ready for Velveteen Dream yet. Like main roster,
they'll ruin him.
Is not ready. Yeah, I agree.
You pull up Black, you pull up Ricochet, you pull up Gargano, or you pull up Cole, or you pull up Riddle. You're losing big holes out of NXT. So
yeah. Okay, I'll agree with you, man. Velveteen Dream's going to retain. And I don't think that's a popular opinion, but whatever, let's go with it.
I think it should be. No.
Yeah, well, we're smarter than a lot of people, so. Shayna Baszler versus Io Shirai versus Kairi Sane versus Bianca Belair. And honestly, every time I remember that we're going to NXT, I remember I'm going to watch Io Shirai moonsault in person. And I'm like half chubbed right now talking about it. I'm so excited for this.
Are you attracted by her wrestling?
Yeah, I don't really. She doesn't do it for me, however you want to put it. But in the ring, honestly, I think she's. I guess if I was going to choose a match to watch, like if I could only have one match, it wouldn't necessarily be this one, but it would be a match with Io Shirai in it.
Cool. I love it. I love hearing that. I think that's my favorite part. Maybe my highlight about this podcast. Like, there's often where I'm like, check this girl out, or check this person, or this person from Japan, and Jay's like, yeah, I'll check them out. Oh, yeah, I'll check them out. Yeah, they're all right. But honestly, like, to hear you and see you tweet out that, like, the highlight of your NXT is to watch Io Shirai, it makes me
that Women's
happy.
Evolution. Women's Evolution. She won me over, man. That was, the finesse, like, the way she moves around the ring, I don't know what the word is.
She's restricted too. Like she's honestly like the reins are on her. She can't fully unleash what she can do. Did you see the gifs or the images of her wrestling, like them wrestling as a tag team and just like running around people?
No, I didn't see it.
She's like running, like they were facing like Shayna Baszler or something in a triple threat or a four-way or whatever it is, and like Io like runs over her. The other girl like dives under her. The other one jumps over her. The other one pushes her over, and like they're running around her. And she's like, Shayna doesn't know who's coming left and who's coming right, and I'll send it. I'll tweet it out on our social media. But these girls as a tag team and the stuff they can do together, really impressive. And the fact they'll be mixing it up at the same time. And Shayna Baszler, man, I don't want to discredit her either. She's awesome. I love Shayna. I think she has developed so much as an individual, way more than Ronda Rousey. Sorry, guys. And the things she does in the ring, the psychology, she does similar things like Pete Dunne where she'll bend joints and stuff. She'll like put the arm out and like jump on the elbow. It's really nasty.
Yeah, she's great.
So this one's a bit harder to call because Shayna Baszler is a key player in NXT. And the thing about her that I like is she doesn't stick to her feud. So she'll be feuding with Io Shirai, Kairi Sane, and Belair. But then in the middle of like a women's match with other talent on the roster, she'll just come out and kick the shit out of all of them. And like there's no tie-in. They're not going to go into a women's title match. But she'll just be like, look, I'm going to kick your ass because I'm the top dog around here. And then like a week later, there'll be another women's match. No involvement in Shayna. She'll just go out in the match, ruin the match, and destroy everybody. And I think that's amazing. They should be doing more of that.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's very cool.
So if she leaves, it's leaving a big hole in the women's division. But at the same time, there's so many women coming up. And this is what I was talking about Sasha a few weeks ago. Yes, she's amazing. Yes, she's had this legacy. She's one of the best. She's a revolutionary pioneer, whatever you want to say. I'm probably giving her more credit.
Way too much credit.
Maybe. But I'm telling you guys, wait and see the talent that is coming up. They're on a whole nother level. And that's not a bad thing. It's a great thing for everybody. And you'll get to see them mix it up with Sasha, and it'll make Sasha a better competitor. But
you know what? Hold on. I got to stop you for a second. You gave her way too much credit. I will say this, and I will say this proudly. Sasha Banks is a one feud wonder. Her work with Bayley in NXT was amazing. And that is it. She's never been able to recapture that. Her feud with Charlotte was not that good. Charlotte was... their matches were not that good. They weren't. Charlotte's a better worker with Asuka. Charlotte's a better worker with Becky. A better worker with Ronda Rousey as well. Sasha Banks is a one feud wonder. Send me your hate. I don't give a shit.
Come at me, bro. At J-Bomb. Yeah. And her theme song, right? If she didn't have that, like, people love that. I even like her song.
Yeah, no, her song is awesome. I just said her.
You
thong.
almost said her thong is awesome, and we've seen it on TV, and it was skin colored but awesome.
Excuse me. So who are we picking?
I want to ask you: do you think Shayna's going to go up to the main roster?
No, I don't.
Not yet. I think she's ready, but I think it might leave too big of a hole. You know what? She's had the title for quite some time. She won it. She lost it. I have to think. Let's see. Okay, so Velveteen, we think is going to retain.
Kairi Sane has been a champion, right? She beat Baszler.
Look, we think War Raiders are going to retain. We think Velveteen's going to retain. They'll obviously be a new NXT champion.
Yeah.
The women's championship. I have to think it's going to go to somebody new, and maybe they're really gung ho on Belair.
I think honestly, that's what I was going to say. I think it's Belair that's going to win this.
You know, and then there's EO. Yeah, you know what, man? I can see Belair winning it and then going on to a feud with EO, and then EO wins it or something like that. And then maybe EO faces off against Kairi for it. So let's go. You know, let's go with Bianca Belair here. Not my pick, and the one I least want to win this match for sure, 100%.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
She did all right against Shayna. She worked her ass off, and she's worked her ass off. So and I'll give her that, even though I'm not a fan. So
I could just visualize it.
That's it. The same here. Let's give it to Bianca.
All right. So main event time, NXT Championship time, which I'm predicting this match is the match of the weekend. The weekend. Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano, 2 out of 3 falls for the NXT Championship. Who you got?
Adam Cole, baby.
I got that. I agree. I don't think there's much more to say, really. It's going to be a great match. I don't think Gargano has a chance in hell for this.
I'm excited as hell for Cole, too.
Me too, man. Adam Cole reeks of championship material. He reeks of NXT championship material. The North American title looks so good on him. This is going to look even better. I'd love to say he was coming to the main roster. I don't know if Gargano is going to go with everything that's happening with Ciampa, but I don't know. I just can't see any. Adam Cole's going to hold that title up to close NXT TakeOver.
Look, man, I'm telling you, they talked about winning all the titles this year. They're going to do it. The War Raiders will retain. They'll go on and fight the Undisputed Era. They'll have the titles. Maybe the North American will come as well, too. I hear even rumors that they might even get a woman into the Undisputed Era moving forward as well, too. So that could be exciting. A lot to look forward to. And yes, we want Cole on the main roster. We want to see him come out and do boom and baby, week after week. But hang on, the wait is going to be worth it. Imagine when he finally does make his debut. I still believe it might be in 2019, but let's just wait and see. Gargano, I think they're a lot higher on him in terms of his potential on the main roster. I think also he will be moving up to the main roster. That was the plan. I heard the plan apparently was Ricochet and Black for one set of tag team titles, I think Raw, and then on SmackDown, or vice versa, it was going to be exactly for the other tag team titles. But you know what? I don't know, because they were also lining those two up to have the match that they were supposed to have to begin with. So maybe that actually wouldn't have made sense. But lots of things have been changing, and Gargano going up to the main roster kind of makes sense to me. I think that's what's going to happen here. I feel kind of bad because Gargano's like, I've been in NXT so long. It's part of my soul. My family's coming down. I feel like, if I'm going to go to the main roster, I feel like I need to win that title at least once. It sucks that he's not going to do it. So that's the one part in the back of my mind that's like, well, maybe he will because of that. But no, I think this is going to be Cole. He'll be sticking down. But I'm not entirely against Cole losing and coming up to the main roster either. But I'm telling you, Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole. But you know what would be really dope, actually? If Cole wins and then the other guys in Undisputed Era, let's say Roderick Strong picks up the North American, and then the two other guys...
I could see that being him. I could see Roderick Strong doing that. You're right. I think that might be the man to do it.
The two other guys, I always forget their name. I know it's Kyle O'Reilly and the other guy.
Fish.
That's okay. That's it.
Bobby Fish?
Bobby Fischer? Bobby Fish? Something. Anyways, if they all have titles, that to me is when you want them to walk out to the main roster and be like, look at us. We own NXT. And then you could start slowly creating a storyline for them all coming to the main roster. I think
sure, man. They could invade, man, with all the titles.
The invasion. We're here. It's time. It's time. This has been a long episode. It's about to get longer. WrestleMania is only what? It's going to be Thursday, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday. 3 days away, baby.
It's crazy, man.
I know. I can't believe we're going, dude. This is... every time I see a commercial for it, I'm just like, shit, we're going to be there, man. We're going to see every entrance.
80,000 people, an open arena, rain or shine.
It's supposed to be nice. It's supposed to be nice.
Yeah, well, no, they're calling for a small chance of rain towards the end of the night. But you know what? I don't care. Rain on my parade. Rain on me. It won't be rain on my parade because I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. The energy, the excitement. I'm hoping for some surprises. Who knows? Maybe someone's going to interrupt Elias. There's lots of rumors there too. We don't know, but it's going to be exciting. We're going to be at WrestleMania. And guys, we are taking on Boot2TheFace, the Irish Whip podcast, in our prediction battle for WrestleMania. It's going to be off the hook. Let's do it, fellas.
All right, buddy. You want to start off with the Women's Battle Royal, I assume, because it's the crappiest match on the card. Start from the bottom, make it to the top. Pretty straightforward. All the women that don't have a really good storyline going on are going to be thrown to a battle royal in the pre-card, as you mentioned. To me, it's a no-brainer. I think we agreed. We mentioned it earlier in the podcast. I mean, if it's not Asuka, then it's Lacey Evans, right?
100%. It's going to be Lacey Evans, and that really grinds my gears and makes me salty as
Who
F.
cares? It's a battle royal. It's like nothing.
The fact that it's on the pre-card makes me a little bit, I'm okay with it a little bit more, but I really hope it's not like she wins a battle royale and then the next week she faces Asuka and beats her. Then I'm just like, honestly, if that's the direction we're headed in, I want Asuka to leave. I want her to go with AEW.
Oh, come on.
Not that I'm like being a baby about it, but I want her to put on amazing matches. If she can go into a promotion where they're really going to let her do her shit and actually...
She's never going to... No one's going to put amazing matches on in WWE like we want. Like we really, truly want. It's not going to happen.
I've seen her... I watched the Royal Rumble. Did you not? Becky and Asuka?
It was a good match. It wasn't an amazing match. Asuka could do better.
You're putting words in my mouth by saying amazing, son. I said a great match, and it was a great match, and one of the best matches on the Royal Rumble. And honestly... one of Becky Lynch's best matches. Sorry, guys. Come at me.
Okay. All right. So we're agreeing with Lacey Evans. We got a lot to cover. We got to get through this, bro. You want to go to the men's battle royal right off the bat?
Yeah, sure. Let's knock this shit out.
Okay. I think we both agree with this. I think it's a no-brainer. Braun Strowman's going to win this.
It has to be, unless there's some sneaky Saturday Night Live shit where they trick him and pull him out, or he eliminates himself because he's angry at them. I'm looking at the people in it. There isn't anybody overly impressive. The only thing that I really have to say is, like, look, if Kevin Owens doesn't have a match, maybe, because he hasn't been announced for anything. If they put him in, look, if Kevin Owens gets inserted into this match, then I think there's a good chance he's going to win it. But right now he's not. And Braun Strowman, this is a really crappy draw for him in terms of a WrestleMania match. It seems like he's the comedy relief every year at WrestleMania. So, yeah, I would hope they're going to give this to him.
Actually, you know what? Now that you mentioned that, I bet you it's going to be one of the guys from SNL. I bet you it's going to be one of them. Should we pick one of them?
No.
You want to keep with Braun?
I don't want that to even be a scenario in my mind.
All right, let's stick with Braun Strowman. You also said the 205 Live match was on the pre-card, right?
Correct.
All right, so I don't even know who's in it. Is it Buddy Murphy and who?
Tony Nese.
Oh, yeah. Who? Tony?
Tony's niece.
Oh, Tony Storm. Okay, I gotcha. You could pick this one, bro, because I have no fucking clue.
Right. So this could go either way. Tony Nese has been putting in the hours, putting in the hard work, for a long time now. And I wouldn't be opposed to him winning the title. I think it could be good for him. I still think it's a little bit early. I think he should go through a little bit more championship matches, a little bit more grinding in these high, profile matches. So I really hope Buddy Murphy ends up winning this one. I think he's great. I think Buddy Murphy should be highlighted a lot more in the WWE outside of 205 Live. I honestly think this match is going to be great, guys. And I say this every time we talk about a 205 Live match. I sound like a broken clock. But I'm excited. Pre-card or no pre-card, these guys will set the tone and the energy going into the pay-per-view. It'll be a match that'll be, probably underrated by the end of the night, but not forgotten. But I'm just going to go with Buddy Murphy because I just don't think Tony Nese is ready yet. If he wins, awesome, Tony. You worked your ass off, but a little bit more involvement in the title picture first for me. So I'll go with Buddy Murphy.
All right. Officially, I agree with you, and I agree with everything you said. So, all right, moving on. We got, let's see here. What's another shitty match? All right, Shane McMahon versus The Miz. Let's get this out of the way. I guess it's after we saw Sanity on SmackDown, so that was cool. If we got anything out of this feud that was decent, Sanity was on TV. I guess The Miz is going to win this?
See, now this one's hard because you got to factor in many things here. Talked about Sanity. They seem to be rolling with Shane right now. We talked about The Miz and his involvement in the Miz and Mrs. Huge part of this. You're going to see the next season or whatever, there's going to be all this lead up to WrestleMania, his match, and all this stuff. But here's the thing. It's a Falls Count Anywhere match. And The Miz went over big this week. He took out Sanity. And it was cool. Very weird to see The Miz in this kind of light last week where he was dominant and he could take out 3 people backstage. And I liked it. It was kind of cool, kind of fresh. I don't know. I have to think something's going to be up. Shane never wins at WrestleMania, or not commonly, I guess you could say. And he's a heel, and there's going to be this Falls Count Anywhere. I have to have a feeling he's going to have people backstage involved to help him take out The Miz.
Whoa, you see the people backstage?
Well, why not? Well, dude, how cool would it be to see some kind of rebirth or reemergence of the Mean Street Posse?
The Mean Street Sanity, baby.
Not gonna happen. See them all come out with like polo shirts and sweater vests. Cool.
Mean Street Posse was dope, man. Back
Dude, they were awesome. And that music's pimp, man. Like sometimes,
it's
like,
pimp.
I have like thousands of songs in my playlist. And the other morning, like I was having my shower, getting ready for work, and like the Mean Street Posse was blaring through my house, and I'm like, oh snap,
dude! If I was walking to work downtown and that song came on, I'd give that whole like Kramer funk walk where he's wearing that pimp jacket.
Yeah.
At the end of the episode there. Oh, so good.
So I don't know, man. I'm kind of wanting to go out on a limb and like, look, they're not going to give us all the happy endings. They need to make drama. I don't know. I kind of feel like with this Falls Count Anywhere, it's not going to work in Miz's favor. He's one man. He doesn't have many friends. And Shane does have people watching his back. You know, we have Sanity. Shelton Benjamin can come out and help him. There's so many angles and so many places they can go with this. Falls Count Anywhere make me feel like there's going to be a big spot as well, too. I don't know. I'm kind of inclined to pick Shane McMahon. I don't think this feud's going away at WrestleMania. I don't think this feud is done at WrestleMania.
Okay, and I agree with that. If it's not done, Shane's winning. If it is done, it's The Miz. You've sold me. Let's go with Shane.
Look, we're being competitive here. Boot2TheFace and IrishWhipPodcast. We want to make things a little bit fun, so let's do it. Let's go out on a limb here and say Shane McMahon.
All right. Let's get an easy one out of the way here then. We got Finn Balor, who's going to be coming as the Demon. By the way, I didn't like the way that they announced
that.
That
was
on
terrible,
Raw.
eh?
It reminded me of the Bray Wyatt pumpkin face thing.
Yeah,
it
did when it was like Sister Abigail's coming back.
Yeah, no good.
It was very creepy too, like his tongue. Like
it wasn't
woman,
creepy.
Maybe,
it was cringy. It was just corny, I thought. But no doubt in my mind, Finn Balor is winning this. The only thing I'm really excited about this match is...
Oh, you know what? I could see Bobby just like DQing himself or some shit. But yeah, go. Yeah,
No.
okay.
The Demon can't lose. He's undefeated.
Yeah,
right?
no, I guess if the Demon's coming out, then yeah, he's got to win this one.
And I'm just excited to see the Demon's entrance. It's going to be cool. We have such a sick view of the entrance ramp. We specifically got tickets to enjoy the entrances and to enjoy the fireworks show and to do all that kind of crap. So
we can't see the ring at all. Not at all. It's all about the entrances for us.
No, it's a great shot of... Yeah, you know what I mean. Fuck you. Finn Balor.
Finn Balor.
All right. Let's do Kurt Angle versus... Oh, Samoa Joe versus...
I was going to say Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio.
All right, let's do it. Go ahead.
Samoa Joe. Come on, man. Samoa Joe finally won the gold. He has that championship. All of us are really happy for him. He worked his ass off for it. He's not going to drop it anytime soon.
You don't think he's going to get rolled up and like from the Kina clutch?
Look, everyone's super bitter about that he's been taking some pins and losses and stuff. But like, look, man, the guy's been around for ages. When people have been around that long, they help put over younger talent. And I think he's got no problem going backstage and saying, yeah, I'll help out. But he gets his T-bone steaks thrown at him once in a while, and that is the U.S. Championship title. I think that's a great title for Samoa Joe to hold. I think he's the man who can bring some prestige back to it. I'm not saying he's going to be the savior, but he's definitely a man that can hold it with pride and do it justice. Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio, it'll be a good match. But again, Samoa Joe's going to win this. And if Rey Mysterio isn't ready and it's Ali, maybe Ali would end up pulling up a win. But ultimately, I think whoever he's going to face, Samoa Joe is walking out with that United States Championship. Ding, ding, ding. That is your winner.
Okay, so when I talked to the guys, we did say you had to pick the winner, not who retains. So if you think Joe is going to get disqualified and Rey's going to win the match but not get the title, then we would be picking Rey Mysterio. I just want to make that clear.
No, he's going to win. He's going to win. I don't think at WrestleMania you're going to see many, if any, disqualifications. It's going to be match. Like that. Stories are told, right?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, is that I'm thinking of headlines the next day. Right, and I'm thinking of WWE.com.
People don't want to see Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio too. Again, for the U.S. title on SmackDown for the next few weeks. And Rey Mysterio can't really do a full-time schedule anyways.
What are you talking about, bro? There's no rematch clause anymore. They never do that.
Right, I forgot.
I just part of me, like, I don't agree with you. I do think Rey Mysterio is going to win this just because he's back. He's a huge name. He's got a contract with WWE for a little bit longer. I could see him holding it up. But I'm going to give it to you. But if you are wrong, I am going to turn to you in the stands and tell you, you fucking idiot.
Wait, you would go with Rey Mysterio?
Yeah, I would. I honestly would.
Okay.
I would.
Well, no,
I think
I'm going with Joe.
Yeah, and we're as a podcast, I'll pick Joe with you. I'm down. Just remember this.
I'll buy you a beer if I'm wrong. How about that?
Oh, sick. I'm down.
With my American De Niro.
Oh my God, the exchange rate. See, you
garbage,
Americans don't
man.
know.
Garbage.
33%, man.
Ugh.
It's terrible. All right, let's do Kurt Angle, Baron Corbin now. This is a tough one. I think it's tougher than we think.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I don't see. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I don't see Kurt Angle winning this match. I don't. I really don't. I. It's very rare that people retire when they win, or they win their final match. And I think it would be the most heat ever, even more heat ever on Baron Corbin. 80,000 people pissed. And WWE loves him. And he'll have that accolade. I retired Kurt Angle.
Well,
now,
that's a good point. Fair enough.
You mentioned it in the notes, I think, that, or I read it today somewhere. It's in my mind. But if what they should have done is Kurt Angle at the end of Raw to close it should have broken his fucking ankle. And then we get John Cena versus Kurt Angle.
Would have been great.
Yeah.
Yes. Wasn't for me. I would have remembered that one.
Okay.
It was not for me. I won't take credit for that, but that's definitely a great idea. Maybe they could even still take a chance and play on that, if they really read social media and see people's opinions. I would have thought it would have been cool. Have him beat Corbin 2 minutes flat. He's celebrating, crowd's excited, and then Cena comes out, challenges him to an impromptu match. Cena beats him, and then Angle retires like that. That's fine because, look, man, Angle's not going to hang with Cena. And I know a lot of people are upset. Corbin's his match. But, dude, he's not going to be able to go toe-to-toe with Cena. He's not going to be able to go toe-to-toe with The Undertaker. Undertaker can't go toe-to-toe with himself in a mirror.
Oh, my God. That'd be the saddest match. Angle and Taker?
Taker shed a lot of weight, though. He actually posted on social media, and he lost 20 or 30 pounds.
Yo, man, his hips don't lie, bro. Doesn't matter how
his hips
light
don't lie, but they crack and creak and squeak. But yes, no, you're stupid. I mean, 100%.
Fucker.
Yeah, well, dude. I mean, the way they've been playing Angle and stuff, I think they really need to send him out right. It's kind of sad watching him go through what he went through over the past month. He's not the same Kurt Angle. He's not on the painkillers anymore. He can't move around as much as he did, and I'd rather him be sober, clean, and be living a good life. But I don't want him. He shouldn't be wrestling anymore. He's got to step back. And I think sending him off. He's had a great career. WWE's kind of embarrassed him a couple times. Did the whole JR treatment on him. But I think if he faces off against Corbin, there's a part of me that's like, yes, Ultimate Heat. Randy Orton, the Legend Killer. You can have Baron Corbin doing something similar with Angle. But nah. Corbin, put him in a match where he loses. He'll get his WrestleMania match against Kurt Angle. I think that's good enough for him. A feather in his cap being Kurt Angle's last match. And I still think Cena should be involved one way or the other, coming out and saying, thank you for your career. You showed ruthless aggression. And that's the closest they can tie it back to, because I just don't think Cena and Angle are going to be able to hang with each other. So, yeah, Corbin, Angle. Angle. Has to be Angle.
I get it. Corbin could lose this match and still get a lot of heat. He can, throw a tantrum, freak out. I'm just trying to envision how it's going to end. I know, even if Corbin wins, Angle's still going to get his moment in the ring where everybody thanks him and all that bullshit.
Well, Shawn Michaels lost against the Taker, right? But it was Taker, so.
But everybody loses when they leave. You're supposed to. You lose on your back. It's like a saying. But you're right. They have been treating Kurt Angle a certain way. But when he came out on Raw, it's like we got the payoff. We've been waiting for the payoff where Angle gets Corbin. And if Angle is going over Corbin, then I think the ending of Raw was silly.
That is true, because that whole recipe of whoever's on top going into pay-per-view usually loses. But we've seen so much of that this week. Is it really going to be across the board?
No, but I just mean that we got payoff. We got revenge on Corbin on Raw, and then
but not directly Angles. Rey Mysterio's I did the work for you because you can't move.
Well, no, yeah, but Angle came out and attacked. Anyways, okay, Kurt Angle, let's go. All right.
Now you got me questioning my shit, man.
Yeah, I know.
I'm curious
I'm
curious to see what the other guys pick, because but that would be catastrophic. People are already upset about who he's facing, right? And I think the whole reason they didn't put him against Cena was because you could put him against Cena and then have him lose, and it'd be fine. But I think the whole reason is they didn't put him against Cena was because they don't want him to lose. So
it's a tougher one than I think. That's just what my point was going to be made.
It definitely is. It definitely is more tough than I initially thought going into this. You raised some good points. You were smart for a minute, and now you're dumb. So let's continue.
All right. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre.
Drew Mac and cheese.
I've kind of liked it. They haven't pushed Roman too hard since he's been back.
Yeah, man. I was going to say that too. That was one of my talking points was look, he came back. Everyone was ecstatic. And then look, he was barely involved in Raw this week.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
I liked it when I saw him.
They knew, let's not shove him down your throat right away or at all. There's other stuff going on. And they're putting him in a pretty solid match. Look, I wanted to see that Drew McIntyre versus Cena match. I think it would have been amazing, especially with the I'm coming for you, Cena. But not a match to be ashamed of being involved with. Roman Reigns, the big dog, coming back from leukemia. But ultimately, I think across the board, Boot2TheFace, Irish Whip, I think we're all on the same page we would have to be. Roman Reigns, he's going to be your big dog and your big winner on the grand stage at WrestleMania.
Yeah, this one I'm in agreement with.
And I will give Chris Rucker and Boot2TheFace points. I mean, it was kind of a given, but he's been saying it for months and months. Yeah. They're building up that Claymore kick just so Roman Reigns can kick out of it.
That's true. They make good points on that. I know you really wanted to see that Cena match. To me, I think it would have been great, but I think from a wrestling match perspective, I think Drew Mac versus Roman is going to be way better.
Yeah, but I would have had heel Drew versus face Cena and then even having heel Drew win cleanly. I think if KO did it, I think they should have that same thing with Drew McIntyre, and I think it would have worked really well.
Yeah, storyline. I'm agreeing with you. But match-wise, I'd rather see Roman fight him. In-ring. Match-wise.
All right.
All right, this is going to be really hard. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. This is of the toughest on the card.
Well, why don't you fill us in?
I loved Randy Orton before I stopped watching wrestling. Like, he was just starting off in Evolution. He used to do like a crossbody from the top rope that was sick as balls.
Like a frog splash crossbody.
Yeah, it was really cool. He didn't do the arms wide open taunt. He did like other taunts. He was smaller. He didn't have all the tattoos. He just seemed to have like a little bit more drive in him then. However, since the Jeff Hardy feud on SmackDown, I've kind of been into Randy Orton. Ho no mo. And I gotta think he's gonna start. I mean, neither of them need to be put over. But I think AJ needs this more than Randy does. I think that. But I don't know. It's so hard to tell. I don't know.
This is a match that's harder to tell, absolutely. So I'm on the same page there. AJ dropped the title this year against Daniel Bryan. And really kind of been, I guess not floundering, but, it's kind of hard for him to kind of pick up the pace. He signed his new contract with the WWE, so he is probably most likely going to end his career in the WWE, or at least, the tail end of it.
The good part of it.
The good part of it. He might end up going to do a match one-off on AEW down the road, or if they ever make it big or something, like, who knows, maybe go back to New Japan, but he's going to finish his career in the WWE. He's a WWE guy. And I do feel like he probably should win this match just because he's given a lot to the WWE. He's been their, Randy Orton will say, their corporate bitch. And you know what? Good. At least he's there every week showing up and putting on matches. And, Randy Orton shows up when he wants to. And some can make the argument that Randy Orton's put in his dues and he's allowed to have that legend contract where he comes and goes. And sure, I'm down. Give Randy Orton that. I like the feud. They've made some good points. Randy Orton kind of is a one-hit wonder with his move, his RKO. I do like his power slam, and I do like the way he kind of stomps every body part. There's a few things he does that I don't mind, but ultimately, I'm not a huge fan of Randy Orton and his wrestling.
His wrestling sucks.
His promos has gotten a lot better. I remember a few years ago his promos were awful, but now he's gotten a lot better on the mic. But ultimately, somebody put a tweet out and was like, after the feud, like the back and forth they had, someone was like, AJ should poop in Randy Orton's bag. I thought that was hilarious. Like, that would have been so funny if they made it really
I could see
real.
Randy Orton pooping
Imagine making it real, and then at the end, imagine Randy Orton opens up his bag and he looks like really stone cold, like he's gonna burst, looking in AJ Styles. There's silence, and all of a sudden Randy Orton's like, "All right." I want to shake your hand. That would have been great, yeah. But ultimately, look, AJ Styles has been getting the RKO or getting his ass kicked every other week from Randy Orton. AJ hasn't put on much offense. They did the spot this week where it was the phenomenal form into the RKO. So to me, that seems like a WrestleMania type match or move, right? So it seems like they gave it to us this week. I have to think, I would have guessed Randy Orton would have won this match leading up into WrestleMania. But after what I've kind of calculated, watched on SmackDown this week, and the way that Randy Orton's kind of putting over newer talent, even though AJ is very well established in the industry, I think what he's put into and brought to SmackDown in the WWE warrants a big win and a big match at WrestleMania. So I hope AJ Styles wins, and that's who I'm going to put my choice with. I have to say AJ Styles is going to pick up the win. And I think this is going to be a good match. You know what? I think if any match is going to end in like a DQ or something, this could be the one. But I'm not going to go with old DQs pretty much at all in any of my choices. I'm going to go who would win this match one-on-one, and I'm going to go with AJ Styles.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you, AJ Styles. I just think, you know what? We should have done this one last after we calculated how many heels and faces are going to win each match and try and balance it out because...
Well, I think a lot of faces are going to win, right? That's kind of it.
I know. That's why I think maybe they'll off-balance it with Randy winning here. That's the thing. But I'll go with AJ Styles because it just makes more sense. So, all right.
Isn't it cool that we have AJ Styles in the WWE and in 2019 and he's
very cool.
That's cool. And a lot of people thought that would never happen. And not only is he in the WWE, he's a WWE guy now.
Yeah. Let's get this dumpster fire out of the way. Boston Hug Connection versus the Divas of Doom versus the Iconics versus the Samoan Slaughterhouse. That's what I'm going to call it.
Is that their name?
They've called Tamina the Samoan Slaughterhouse.
Because of her promos?
Both the Samoan Slaughterhouse. I think Michael Cole's trying to get the term over. It's a horrible thing to call. It's just, it doesn't work. It's silly. This is definitely the match we're going to go get beers at. I do not give a shit about this at all. I know you're excited to see Beth Phoenix.
I want to see Beth there. So you can go get me a beer and I can tell you all about it. But
the big thing for me is this women's tag team title shit is garbage. It has been so bad. I don't know. There's not much to say. It's just shit.
There also haven't been many tag team matches with these two.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So fuck them. I don't care who wins. You pick.
All right. I think the Boston Hug Connection are going to hold on to the titles. I think there's going to be somewhat of that picture in the ring where maybe you have all the women at the end embracing the 4 horsewomen or whatever it is. Maybe Becky and Charlotte are going to have a moment of realizing and respecting each other. But you know what? I really would hope in my mind that Natalya and Beth Phoenix would win. I think Beth coming out of retirement for this, in my mind, is like, well, look, if she's coming out of retirement, it's for the tag team titles, the last feather in her cap, and you would think that, well, if that's going to be the case, they're going to give it to them. So I think there's a good chance that the Divas of Doom, or whatever you want to call them, Beth and Natalya, are going to win this match. But I just don't think it's going to happen. Beth's been dominant. She's been kicking ass, doing the glam slam week after week here. I think just they're going to really roll and push forward with Sasha and Bayley. I'm kind of happy they're not throwing the titles around too much. Hey, man, the Iconics could steal it. Like, lots of stuff could happen.
Actually, I would prefer the Iconics to win it. I think they would be a better tag team.
They could pull it off. But ultimately, I think they're still teasing the whole Lita and Trishing a little bit. I saw on social media. I don't know. I'll give them retaining because I think some titles are going to change hands, and I think this is one that might remain with them. So that's my, I guess, yeah, the Boston Hug Connection.
That's fine.
As much as I hate the name,
I don't know, man. There's just something about it. They just haven't done anything with the titles.
Nope.
We're gonna defend them here. We're gonna defend them there. They literally don't even have tag team matches that are non-title matches. It's one of the two of them having a one-on-one, or it's them with a whole bunch of other women in a match. It's just silly.
I agree.
Even the way they won it in a non-tag team. It's just been a mess. You could tell Vince doesn't give a shit about them. Doesn't give a fuck.
Publicity.
Whatever. Okay, so that's done. Let's move on to Triple H versus Batista.
Yeah.
This one...
It's for Triple H's career, mind you, too, guys.
It's his in-ring career, and that means nothing. Nothing. It's just he can't have a pay-per-view match for 3 months. It's pretty much what it is.
I'm coming out of retirement.
Exactly. I'm excited for this match, mostly to see Triple H's entrance, to tell you the truth. I think it's going to be awesome. I don't know. Who you got?
Yeah, I can assume he's in the back being like, what's our budget? Give me extra for my entrance. Come on, man. It's got to be Triple H. Triple H is not retiring anytime soon. I think he's still able to go. Unless in Saudi Arabia, he was like, damn, I pulled my pec, or my tricep or bicep or whatever it was. I gotta, hang it up. I don't think we're there yet. I think Triple H can still go. I think if anybody's going to end Triple H's career, it's going to be Shawn Michaels. So I don't think Batista's going to be the guy to do it. The only part of me that's like, look, Batista came back for that one more match. You would think he'd come back for a win. Things didn't really go exactly his way last time either. when he fought up against when he won the Royal Rumble, and then they changed it all for Daniel Bryan. They turned him into a heel, Boot2TheFace, all that stuff. It was a mess. So maybe he wanted to come back and do it right, and to agree to do a match, maybe he needed to guarantee a win. I don't know. But the fact they're putting Triple H's career on the line cements it for me. It's not happening. Batista's going to lose. The fact they're you've never beat me. They're showing it over and over and over, making a package. Triple H has lost a bunch of WrestleMania too, so I think this is going to be a year where Triple H gets that big win at WrestleMania, and that's all there is to it. It'll be the Game picking up a win over Boot2TheFace.
I will agree with you. I've never been a big Batista guy. I think his head looks like a giant fucking nutsack these days. It's got a little bit of hair on it, so that adds to the nutsack look. He did kind of win me over this week a little bit with his Kiss My Ass promo. But if that is his best work, then that is sad as fuck. So I am definitely going with Triple H on this. And I can't wait to see that entrance. Very excited.
Will Batista wear blue? Only time will tell.
Time will tell. This brings us to...
Maybe he'll be naked and it'll be nude Tista. Kiss my ass. He was talking literally. Kiss my ass. And you just talk about nutsacks. I mean, it's all coming together, man.
You stupid idiots!
All right. The final three. Which one do you want to start with?
I'll let you pick, man.
Oh, fuck. Make me look at papers. Let's do Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins.
Oh, snap. We didn't even hit on the tag team title match, and you're going right into the
Oh, shit. I forgot about the tag team title match. That's not on our list. That's why. Okay.
Oh, because it was added most recently, right?
All right. Fatal 4-way, another dumpster fire of a match.
We have the Hardy Boys, I believe. We have Aleister Black, Ricochet.
Nope, no Hardy Boys. No Hardy Boys.
They're not in there?
No, it's the Usos, the Bar, Knack and Rusev, Ricochet, Aleister Black.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Pretty simple who's going to win this, I would say.
Well, why don't you tell us? Enlighten us.
Aleister Black and Ricochet. That's just who I got.
Yeah, the Usos just signed their new fat contract with the WWE. You don't think they're going to retain?
Well, they just signed a contract so they can pull those titles right the fuck off of them.
Maybe it's like, hey, we want to win at WrestleMania. We'll sign and not go to AEW. We want our big win at WrestleMania. Because they could go to AEW for a crazy contract, I'm pretty sure, if they had wanted to.
Yeah.
Mind you, their girlfriend is... Well, they could have brought their girlfriend over too to AEW. Naomi.
Yeah.
So this one's tough. It's actually a little bit tougher.
Maybe you're right.
We can rule out Nakamura and Rusev. We can rule out the Bar. Well, we can kind of rule out the Bar. You never know. They can pull it off. So is it going to be Aleister Black? And yeah. I'm going to say that the Aleister Black and Ricochet are going to pull it off. Because they could do all kinds of stuff. The Usos don't even need to be pinned, right? So they can save them. They can save face.
Yeah, but the Usos have always been denied their WrestleMania moment. And maybe you're right. Maybe they did sign because they're getting that WrestleMania moment. A few years back, they were stripped of a 2v2. I feel like they were stripped this year of a 2v2. It should have been the Hardys versus the Usos. And the Hardys should have put the Usos over. That's what I think it should have been.
Yeah, but the Hardys, they're a bit broken down. I don't think they could compete at that level.
But they're the Hardys. You know what I mean? And Jeff would have fucked shit up for that match.
Jeff, I'm not talking about Jeff. I'm trying to be nice and not, single out one person.
He's still good, man. And
he's got in good shape lately, for sure. But, he's definitely a bit stiff and sore. But, yeah, I think I would have loved to have seen those two go at it. I guess one of the greatest tag teams from our era to one of the greatest tag teams of the new era. Would have been a hell of a match if done right. But, the WWE, they don't see the big picture.
So we're going to go with Aleister Black and Ricochet?
I just think with the build-up these two have had and the tag team matches they've been throwing at us every single week, I have to think this is going to be it. Yeah. That's just me.
All right. I'm going with everything you're going with tonight. I'm leaving it up to you. So if we fail, I can blame it on you.
Okay.
All right. Now we're at the big three. Are we finally at the big three?
Well, it depends. Does Elias get interrupted? Because I will say a footnote, and I hope we can get bonus points for this if we fall somewhere else. If Elias is interrupted, let's say it's Cena.
Yeah.
Cena's going to win.
Yeah, which is horrible for Elias if that's the case. If Cena's not there, no build, no nothing. Elias
Cena's going to be there. 100% Cena's going to be there.
Is the Undertaker going to be there?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I even hear his next appearance at the WWE's been pushed. So who knows? WrestleMania is Undertaker.
All right, Cena. All right, we'll put her down. If Cena faces Elias, we'll go with Cena.
Whoever faces Elias is going to win, but yes.
Terrible. Okay, are we at the big three, Des? Can we move on?
We are at the big three as far as I see. Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. 3! Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. You fucked my head up because I'm reading your notes. You fucked my head up. I was so guaranteeing a Seth Rollins win here. But as the weeks have carried on, as Kofi Mania has risen, as Becky Lynch Wrestlemania has risen, I'm thinking they can't give us three out of 3 of what we want. But there's speculation of Daniel Cormier having some sort of spot at WrestleMania. They are definitely going to the UFC. Now, does that mean that he causes Brock Lesnar to lose and then the storyline for the UFC starts at WrestleMania? I don't know. But this is tough, man. It's got really tough to call. Really tough. But I think everybody wants to watch the world burn a bit. I'm going to pick Brock Lesnar.
I felt your anus clench when you said that.
Oh, it's clenched, bro.
Look, man, I think you kind of pointed it out. We can't have 3 big winners. I'm trying to put them in priority of who they're going to make win. And I think that, Brock, Seth, at the Royal Rumble, I think the plan was to have Seth beat the Beast. And I think everybody was excited for this, and as am I, and as was I. But when it kind of comes down to it, it's like, look, if you're going to have one of them, and the fact that Seth kind of had the one-up on Brock,
that doesn't help.
Yeah, Brock has an ego. The fact that he's going out there and looking weak going into WrestleMania, I don't know, folks, guys. Yeah, it has to make me think that something's up here. And look, I know Brock's being advertised for SmackDown post-Mania in the future. That could change. Things change so often. And at the same time, they want to be moving SmackDown to Fox in the fall, so that could be a possibility as well, too. But I digress here, folks. Brock could easily go to SmackDown with the Universal Championship. Maybe Daniel Bryan or Kofi or whoever's going to win the championship is going to come over to Monday Night Raw. There could be all kinds of changes. So I wouldn't read too much into that. But I have to think we're not going to get all the winners that we want. They're not, unless it's going to be a feel-good WrestleMania. But I don't think across the board it's going to be that way. I have to feel Brock Lesnar's going to pull it off. He's going to beat Seth Rollins. They want to draw that ultimate heat. And I think it's a really easy argument to have Roman Reigns just step right back into that picture against Brock for the Universal Championship and win his title back. And I know a lot of you and a lot of people, including myself, will be nauseous to have that happen again because we've seen Brock versus Roman so many times. Yeah. But to me, it just feels like that's probably the right direction to go into. I feel bad for Seth. I would love Seth as a champion. Mind you, I would like Seth as a heel champion because I think he was better as a heel. He's too soft now. But regardless, he's a hard worker, one of the hardest, if not the hardest worker on the roster. But yes, folks, I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar on this one.
Yeah, I wish there's so many variables here. I agree. Since Roman Reigns came back, it's just been a little bit less feeling of Seth winning this match. But if Brock is going to face Daniel Cormier in the UFC, now if Brock wins, we would think.
When is this? Do we know when he's fighting Cormier?
No, we don't. But I gotta look at it like they're not gonna let Roman beat Brock until at least SummerSlam, right? I mean, that's just my guess. Now, I think Brock is gonna fight Daniel Cormier before SummerSlam. I do. So, I don't know, man. This is tough.
Well, I'm reading a headline right now that's like Brock Lesnar and Cormier fight is still kind of up in the air. So we don't know what's going to happen. Lots of stuff could happen from now. And we could be wrong. I'm also trying to be a little bit of a wild card, mixing it up because, we are going up against Boot2TheFace and IrishWhipPodcast. I feel like they're going to pick certain people, and I want to pick certain people and mix it up and make things interesting. So I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar here.
There's part of me that's like, dude, last year at Mania, we were like, oh, guaranteed Roman Reigns. Guaranteed 1,000% Roman Reigns.
But I feel like everybody's saying guaranteed Seth Rollins again, and they're going to do it again. McMahon would be like, get it again.
I know, but okay, we did it. They did it last year at WrestleMania. Roman didn't win. And then they did it in Saudi Arabia. Everyone's like, oh, they're saving it for Saudi. They're saving it for Saudi. It didn't happen in Saudi either.
But Lesnar was also supposed to leave the WWE, and he didn't. And he was also supposed to leave after this WrestleMania, and he's not.
Yeah, but now I've heard more. Okay, I'm going to pick Brock Lesnar with you, but I'm telling you all the reasons why we might be wrong.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is one of the ones we probably could be wrong on, for sure.
Okay, all right.
But I'm going to go on that limb. We are men. We are Talkamaniacs. We are Talkamania.
Okay. Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
It's Kofi Mania. This has been a hell of a ride. Their promo they cut on SmackDown Live for the go-home show to close it off, I thought was really good. Big E was just amazing.
The dancing?
He's so
Xavier
fucking,
too. They were both
when they're
great.
like, asshole, ass, and he's pointing at Daniel Bryan as they're chanting it.
Oh,
and
were they? Oh, great.
Yeah. And I got to give it to Daniel. I thought Daniel was just absolutely spectacular.
Great on the mic.
So good. His timing. And I'm liking Rowan with him. I'm liking it all. And I actually, after that promo, I went on WWE.com to see how much that belt would be, thinking it would be a little bit cheaper. It's not on there. And that belt has grown on me. I just don't. If Kofi Kingston wins this match, I hope to fucking hell that leather belt is there.
Or he makes one out of pancakes. Right? No?
Oh my
Nobody
God.
else? No?
This is I don't know. I don't know if WWE is going to give it to him. I really don't.
They have to. I think at this point in time, the WWE
think it's hijacked.
the universe would riot. They would hijack whatever they can. The next night it would be crazy. But ultimately, that would draw extreme heat, and it would be amazing. Honestly, part of me wants to see him lose just to see the reaction, and I think it would be amazing. Kofi could easily go on to win at the next pay-per-view. He doesn't need that big WrestleMania win, but I think he's been there for a long time. But I talked weeks back about Bruce Pritchard being part of the writing team again, and how back in the day Booker T was fighting Triple H, and there was a similar story where Booker T was the underdog, and people thought he was going to win at WrestleMania, and they didn't. And Bruce was like, "Well, look, everybody expected it, so like, why are we can't just give them what they want all the time? That's not how wrestling works. You need upsets and losses, otherwise it'd be predictable." So, a part of in the back of my mind there is that, but I feel like the fans are so invested. The fact the whole thing was Ali being injured, he was put into the elimination chamber as an audible, and it just blew into this big thing. They made it into a WrestleMania match. There's no way they had envisioned Kofi versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. I'm telling you.
I agree. Yeah,
and the fact they went this far with it, I don't know, man. Even if it's for one day, one night, or whatever it is, I have to feel like Kofi's going to do it, and they're going to give us that big moment. But I kind of also feel like they might not.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's Kofi Kingston, guys.
I know, but okay, unless they're going to do the Big E turn on Kofi, not at Mania, whatever, eventually down the line, unless they do that, I don't see any storyline for Kofi going forward. Like, I don't see Kofi. Who's next in line for the WWE title picture?
Well, dude, Kofi could win it and go over to Raw the next week. So, there's so much that could change.
Kofi versus Seth, Kofi versus Roman, it's just they're I know
it.
Maybe it would really work, but
right?
I just
he has
don't
to
know.
feud with somebody legitimately. We're like, okay, well, he could pull off a win against this person, like maybe Samoa or maybe Randy or maybe whatever. But also one thing to remember is Bray Wyatt's been spotted in New York City, and I don't think he was advertised for fan access and a whole bunch of other stuff. So why is he there? Is he maybe going to come back and remember Rowan came out and helped Bryan at the Rumble? So, who knows what's going to happen at WrestleMania? Maybe Bray Wyatt's going to come out and help, and maybe also Harper, and then even it out, right? 3 against 3, New Day versus those guys, So it could be a lot of things, and there's a big, huge part of me, and I keep saying this is the hardest match to call. This is the hardest match to call.
Yeah, they're all fucking hard.
This is a very hard match to call because McMahon ultimately makes a decision. He revels on, trolling us and, screwing us over and making us think one thing, and this would be the ultimate heat. McMahon could be like, "Oh, I love it." The fans would be so upset, and it'd be great post WrestleMania. Maybe he loses and then wins the very next night after WrestleMania. That could be it. He loses, and then he gets that rematch the very next night or on SmackDown the very next night and then wins it and has it for a couple weeks. They could do that as well, too. Because you can't have all the winners. Maybe Seth wins and Kofi doesn't. But look, man, I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to go with what I want. I'm going to go with what would create the most energy in that arena that night. I'm going to go with Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, I think between the Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan, we're kind of screwed. Like, if Seth wins, Kofi's losing. If Brock wins, Kofi's winning.
I could also see Daniel Bryan being like, look, I want Kofi to win, McMahon. Like, I want him to get this moment. Like, let's
I could see Daniel doing that
Yeah,
as well.
for sure. He's totally pushing for him, you know? So,
Kofi?
I'll go with Kofi.
Kofi Kingston. All right, I'm writing it
I bet
down
you one of the
so
other
it's
guys
official.
have Daniel Bryan, though. I'm quite certain that we're maybe alone in this one.
We're here, bro. We're at the main event.
Ooh.
Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair versus the man.
Versus
Becky Lynch.
Stephanie McMahon.
Who start us off?
Guys, we've been hyping this shit since what? Survivor Series, was it, where Becky attacked Charlotte? Was it Survivor? SummerSlam? SummerSlam or Survivor? I don't know. It
don't
dates
remember.
back.
Survivor Series.
Survivor
No,
Series. Okay,
SummerSlam.
Okay, cool. So already we're off, not knowing what we're talking about. But yes, SummerSlam, the attack on Charlotte Flair. Becky, the crowd just getting behind her. The way they've been pushing the man, the T-shirts, the merchandise, the fans, just loving this shit. Having Charlotte in there, we'll have her winning the SmackDown title. Look, dude, this is Becky's year. This is Becky's moment. We've had Ronda Rousey. She's developed. I'm not going to rip on her. I actually think she's put in a lot of hard work and done pretty good. She's not a wrestler. She's only been in it for a year. She's not going to cut promos like The Rock. And I think now there's a bit of a refreshment in terms of the way she's changed her character. But look, ultimately, winner is going to take all. The fact that they even changed the rule to winner makes all, so Becky could potentially have both titles, just spells it out louder and clearer for me. This isn't one that's too hard for me to pick. I might be wrong. It might be Charlotte because that's their woman. That's their Roman Reigns. It could be Ronda Rousey because they both are up so much. But I hear, Ronda Rousey may not be around for a bit after WrestleMania. Look, it's going to be the man. It's going to be Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch will be the champion, the double champion. Like she said on SmackDown this week, come WrestleMania, that'll be your main event. The fireworks are going to go off. And that's all there is to it, man. That's all there is to it. Becky Lynch.
I'm in agreement. I think this is Becky's moment.
And good for her.
Yeah, good for her. I mean, I think Ronda's for sure taking the time off. Charlotte doesn't need it. She doesn't need this moment. She's had a million WrestleMania moments already.
It would be dirty if they did.
It would be extremely dirty if they did. So that's why I could see it. But
yeah.
No, I think it's going to close out. Becky Lynch is going to win. I think out of the three of them, she's probably the least known in pop culture. She's selling the most merch right now, so I think that's big for the company. I think more storylines could be written.
And look, we're getting fireworks too at the end of the night. Are they really going to put fireworks after Charlotte wins? Charlotte wins, we're all booing, and then they put fireworks out to troll us.
They all booed when Roman Reigns. When Roman Reigns retired The Undertaker, they were booing when those fireworks were going off.
Well, there you have it. I mean, again, I think this one's a little bit easier for me to pick. I really feel confident in my pick in terms of saying Becky Lynch. I think I would hope across all podcasts are saying Becky Lynch. It'll be a travesty, but ultimately it will shake things up and stir things up and add some extra heat across the board. But my pick, the man, of Becky Lynch.
All right, I'm with you on that. This show has been extremely long. I think we're at the 1 hour 45 mark.
It's a WrestleMania length show.
I mean, we did a lot. We talked about Raw recap, SmackDown recap, and went all the way over NXT TakeOver, all the way through WrestleMania. We talked about our road to WrestleMania. Dude, this is it.
Dude, we talked about this. And remember, we were saying if we hit 1,000 followers, we are going to WrestleMania. Well, here we are, many thousands of followers later, and we're doing it.
Baby. Just
we're
under
doing
8,000.
it. Road to WrestleMania. We're going to be leaving Friday morning, hitting up the road to Brooklyn. We're going to check into our Airbnb and then hit the road to the Barclays Center and check out some NXT. And it's going to be off the hook. And we're going to be hitting up things on Saturday too. WrestleCon, potentially fan access, all kinds of shebangs. We're also going to be hitting up Busted Open Party as well.
Yeah.
And if you guys are going to be there, check it out because it's going to be off the hook. And then we're going to be hitting up WrestleMania. And we're going to be hitting up Monday Night Raw. So it's going to be crazy for Talkamania.
And then the following Monday, Raw is in Montreal for the International Superstar Shakeup. And we're going to be there too, if we haven't killed each other yet. That's the thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Instagram. We're going to be live, keeping the story going the entire trip.
Talkamania.
So, any backstage stuff we can do, we're going to be doing for you guys. Follow us on Instagram @_Talkamania. Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, The Chair Shot, Full Press Coverage, The Daily Smart, Blog Talk Radio, Bodyslam.net. Merch, man. ProWrestlingTees.com/Talkamania. And watch us play Apex. Actually, Des, do you want to play Apex after this?
Dude, I've been waiting for this shit to end so we can go play Apex.
And let's Twitch it. So let's get her done. If you want to jump on the Twitch machine, it's twitch.tv/Talkamania. Boys and girls, we'll see you in New York City. On behalf of Talkamania, J-Bomb's out. Des, say bye.
We'll see you this weekend, and we will see you this Sunday on the happiest of Rusev days.